Flight 873 did have to return to the gate to undergo a maintenance check before it was able to depart from Miami. About a 2-hour delay there. There were no reports of any injuries. Don?
All right, Chris, we do know, though, it was 1 1/4 miles separating the two planes. In aviation terms, how close is that really?
Realistically, that's seconds apart. If you think about the plane was going 140 miles an hour or so and accelerating towards 160, which is its takeoff speed, you're going to cover a mile and a quarter in, not very much time. So they had clearly enough time to stop the aircraft and avoid this collision. But realistically, you're talking about seconds.
They had to act very quickly. What is Delta's response to this?
Well, Delta put out a lengthy statement here. Really, their pilots responded exactly as you would want them to. They were told they needed to cancel the takeoff. They immediately hit the brakes and stopped the airplane safely. I think the key point to what Delta is saying is that safety is always our top priority, and these types of procedures are part of the flight crew's extensive training. So this is something the pilots prepare for, and they just hope they don't ever have to do.
Chris, there are some airports that they hand off the control of the planes from air traffic control to ground traffic control. But is that just after the plane has landed? It's not on takeoff. On takeoff, are they still under the control of the air traffic controllers?
So, this can vary airport to airport, but typically you have one controller who may be focusing on bringing in the planes to land and another controller that's focusing on the traffic on the ground and dispatching flights. So it's possible what happened here is that one controller and the other controller weren't on the same page. There's also technology that can be built into airports that will, think of it as sort of like a stoplight in the pavement almost when a runway goes active, that the taxiways, that red lights show up in the pavement. We don't know if that was in play here or not, but that'll be part of what the FAA is looking at.
Yeah, that would make sense, wouldn't it? I understand also that this might be a case of where the call letters were very similar between the planes that might have added to the confusion. Kris Van Cleave, thanks so much for this.
Sure thing, Don.